Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., a radical act of retaliation.
You know, as a mother, getting a call like that is probably your worst nightmare. Worst case is, what if they take my child?
An Aurora City Councilwoman says she was targeted for speaking out about the former police chief. Now the chief's partner is facing charges.
There's a warrant out for Robin Nacita's arrest. I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. I'll take you through the disturbing false claims investigators say she made about child abuse.
Plus, new information about the Buffalo shooter's plans after the grocery store. And a Boulder King Super shooting survivor weighs in on the path to healing ahead.
My first thought was all of the similarities.
And the Avs are back on the ice today for round 2 of the playoffs. What the team learned from its playoff run last year. They have had 8 days to rest up and get ready. They've got everybody healthy again, and I'm sure the crowd will be rowdy tonight. Good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. It's going to be another warm spring day ahead, maybe with a little bit of rain later. Lisa has the forecast.
You nailed it, girl. Here.
Back to you.
No.
Back to you.
We want to hear more.
Low to mid 50s this morning. It is really pretty. We have a little bit of cloud cover out there early on, making for a pretty sunrise. Winds are calm. It was nice to see some calmer conditions. The winds will kick up when you get an individual storm or two rolling through, but not like the all-day winds that we saw for weeks now. We're going to be in the mid to upper 70s as early as about 10 o'clock, so it's going to be a nice morning warm-up. Low to mid 80s for highs this afternoon. That's going to push us about 10 to well, near 12 degrees above normal this afternoon. Denver right around 82, some 70s for the foothills, mid to upper 60s for the central mountains, and some pretty warm conditions. Now there will be a few thunderstorms popping up this afternoon, and a few of those could turn severe. We'll take a closer look at where that might happen. It's going to stay warm through Thursday and then a big change on Friday. Jason, my mom lives in Evergreen. She said, "Can I plant yet?" I said, "No. Wait till you see what happens on Friday." Details coming up.
And then you should be okay. Right now, we do have still a closure of I-25 up to the north. We do have that southbound side. It's closed right here at Crossroads going down to Highway 34. You can use Rocky Mountain Parkway or you can use Centera just to the east of I-25 to get around it. That's where most folks are using right now. Take a look from the camera and you can see that the work to go on that happened early this morning. A truck wiped out some of the barriers here in the construction zone. That's what's going on right now. They're repairing the barriers, and so the truck is gone, but once the repair is done, they'll be able to open all southbound lanes. Until then, you'll have to use that detour route, and it's going to take you about an extra half an hour. Getting busier in these other regular stretches of highway, but no other major problems for us here in Metro Denver. One off-freeway problem is going to be at Federal in Mexico, just north of Evans, and that was reported as a car fire with very light traffic.
An Aurora City Councilwoman learned the person making false and disturbing claims about her and her child was the partner of the city's ousted police chief.
Councilmember Danielle Jurinsky says those allegations shook her to the core.
All I can say is this is a parent's worst nightmare, to get a call like I got and to be under an investigation like I was, knowing that it was a complete lie.
Yeah, the councilwoman thinks this is in retaliation for being critical of the former police chief. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta has details on what's next here.
So a lot. I'm watching two things closely for you all. The accused woman, we're talking about Robin Nacita, is expected to turn herself in at some point. We've highlighted her right here standing next to the former chief. And attorney for Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky says she's going to file a claim against social services as well as Nacita. So this all appears to be a case of retaliation. Investigators say Nacita called DHS the day after Jurinsky criticized former Chief Vanessa Wilson. That was on a local radio show. They say Nacita falsely told caseworkers the councilwoman sexually assaulted her toddler in front of coworkers at a restaurant she owns. Human Services found these allegations to be completely false. At the time she made the allegations, Nacita was a social worker for Arapahoe County, but she's since then resigned. Now, a felony arrest warrant has been issued for Nacita. During a press conference yesterday, Jurinsky said she's used to being attacked for being outspoken, but this was completely different.
You know, the other attacks, every other attack that has come my way, I can handle on my feet, and I can fire back and I can fight back. You involve my child and it brings me to my knees, and it becomes a different kind of fight.
I keep checking back with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. They say Nacita is not in custody yet. In studio, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Well, any minute now, President Biden and the First Lady are expected to leave the White House and head to Joint Base Andrews. They will be flying to Buffalo, New York this morning, where they will meet with the families of the victims from last weekend's mass shooting. 10 people died when a gunman opened fire in a supermarket. Police say the attack was driven by racist hate. ABC News obtained documents about the suspect suggesting he planned the attack at least 2 months prior. He had even visited the city in early March. It also shows he described the supermarket as the first location of attack and lists 2 more possible locations. So what happened in Buffalo brings back tragic memories from last year's Boulder King Super shooting here. 10 Coloradans died when a gunman opened fire at the Table Mesa location. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live this morning because we're hearing from a survivor from that shooting and her hopes about those grieving now in New York.
Yeah, this is all bringing back terrifying memories for one woman we talked to who was working inside the Boulder King Supers when that shooting happened last year. She says it's been an extremely difficult year and it's still hard for her to go out to public areas. Chelsea Krasaki was working as a deli clerk when 10 people were shot and killed inside the King Supers in March of last year. She says she still hasn't gone into the store and she's not sure if she ever will, but she's hoping survivors in Buffalo will take the time to heal and process this tragedy.
I can only hope that there's that same outpouring of love and support for that community, because the fact that they were singled out specifically for the reason of their race is unfathomable to me.
While the motive in the Boulder shooting remains unknown, the shooting in Buffalo is being investigated as a hate crime, an act of racially motivated violent extremism. Dr. Rachel Nielsen, who is an expert in targeted violence, says that it is possible to thwart mass shootings, but it requires early intervention.
I think part of it is recognizing the warning signs and having people who are willing to get in there and confront it and talk about it. It scares people, it makes people nervous, they don't want to be a part of it. And so a lot of folks will just shy away or in the relationship with that person because it just gets ugly and unpleasant.
Krasaki says that she hopes that prosecution will go a lot smoother in Buffalo for those who are grieving right now. Just last month, the suspect in the King Supers shooting was ruled incompetent to stand trial for the 3rd time. Reporting live this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Christian. Homeowners and business owners will see cuts to their property taxes over the next 2 years. Governor Polis signed a bill into law yesterday. Lawmakers say they'll use a budget surplus to help fill some of the funding gaps left by the property tax reduction, including for schools.
If you live in Arapahoe County and you're facing eviction, there is new help starting today. The county is teaming up with Colorado Legal Services to offer free help at the Littleton Courthouse.
The ultimate goal is to prevent if we can't keep someone housed, then we're just trying to prevent them from having that eviction on their record, because once they've been evicted and have that as a judgment against them, future landlords can see that, and it makes it very hard for them to find other housing.
Yeah, Arapahoe County has some of the highest number of eviction filings in the state. Colorado Legal Services will be at the Littleton Courthouse Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday mornings. They also help in Denver and Adams counties on certain days of the week. If you are facing eviction or foreclosure, you can call them or go online.
The Avs are ready for round 2 of the playoffs. Game 1 against the Blues is tonight at Ball Arena. The team had one more round of practice yesterday. This will be 8 days, though, between games for the Avs and 5 days for the Blues. Now, looking back to a year ago, the Avs actually swept the Blues in the first round of the playoffs 4-0, but it's a different story this year.
They're a different team this year. We're a different team this year. So you can't look into last year too much because that's in the past, and we're focused on the present and playing the St. Louis team this year. And they're a potent, highly potent offensive team that we got to be ready for.
Puck drops at 7:30 tonight at Ball Arena.
Fans got to get them into it early after 8 days off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got to get that energy back.
You kind of forgot we were still in, right? It's been so long. But take a look tonight at about 7 o'clock. We're going to be in the low 70s before the game starts there around Ball Arena. Pretty mild night. We'll get a few thunderstorms before that, mid to late afternoon, and then skies will start to clear out. We'll be by 10 o'clock in the low to mid 60s, still mild. It was pretty loud there for that last series, Ball Arena. I'm assuming it's going to be the same tonight.
I would imagine maybe even a little bit louder.
Yep.
Right now we have a good drive coming in from the west side of town, Lakewood, West Denver. Not seeing any problems here on 6th Avenue into the sunshine as you join I-25. Yesterday we had a big delay. Today, not so much. The westbound side looks just fine as well, heading all the way out to Golden.
The price of gas hits a new record, but Governor Polis just signed a law that will help out a little.
Also racing to restock here, the two-pronged approach between Congress and the Biden administration to get more baby formula to stores.